Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I will continue with my series of little videos about the Shaper origin. A couple of months ago I posted a video showing you how to save Shaper tape. And one of my viewers commented on that video and asked, did you ever try out the domino tape generator? And I was like, what's that? So I clicked on the link and I found this little tool that is on the internet and everyone can use, where you can just generate PDF files that contain the Shaper tape. And so you can print it and you'll get printed out Shaper tape. So this here is an example.
This is a little tool where you have a couple of parameters that you can set to decide what kind of PDF you want to create. So if you leave it as it is, standard, and you click generate, it downloads a PDF. And if you look at a PDF, you see you have on a page a couple of those strips. So that's kind of a waste. You have a lot of white space here. So that's not very helpful. You can change that. So what I typically do here is I change to centimeters because I'm in Europe. And so height would be 29 and 20 width, which would be a standard A4 paper. And then I also say row spacing only 1, which is smaller, so you have more strips, and I center everything. And so that's typically a standard that worked decent for me. So when you do that, you have an A4 paper you see here with a bunch of strips. You can fiddle around with that until it serves your needs, but these settings work for me.
So I asked myself, does that work? So this is a video where I try out if self-printed domino tape is any good. Let's give it a try.
First, I started by marking all places where I would attach the Shaper tape to, so I could make a fair comparison between the bought Shaper tape and the self-printed. I put bought Shaper tape on the workpiece and also one strip of Shaper tape where I will engrave the name. I do this to observe how the tape reacts when you route over it. Here you see that I place the name Grace on that Shaper tape, and it's about 11 centimeters wide and about 3 centimeters high. I engrave the name, and here you see it worked like a charm. Now I start cutting out the printed Shaper tape and I replace the bought one with a printed one. I glue the printed Shaper tape onto the wood with a glue stick. It is kind of fiddly. You need to cut out everything and you need to glue it onto the wood, so it takes some time. I scanned the self-made Shaper tape and it works perfectly. Also, the cutting works without problems. As you see here, the name has been well engraved. Now comes the tricky part. Turns out that the glue sticks too much to the wood, and so removing the self-made tape turned out to be really fiddly. At the end, I decided to remove the self-made tape by sanding it down with a 240 grit paper. Here you see both names, one next to each other. As you can see, they're both fine. The right-hand one looks a little bit softer, but that is due to the sanding and not due to any problems that were caused by the self-made tape. I decided to repeat the experiment, but instead of taking a glue stick, I would just take regular packaging tape to attach the self-made Shaper tape to the wood. Again, scanning and cutting worked without problems, and here you see the result. It worked out fine. Compared to the glue stick, removing the packaging tape was much easier. And as you can see, the engraving turned out wonderful.
Okay, here we are back again. What is the conclusion of this little experiment? The first one is the self-printed domino tape works. So if you have budget constraints, or if you ran out of tape and you can't get to it fast enough, you can use that as a method to get to workable shaper tape that you can use on your workpieces. There are a couple of caveats. I think the main is that it's a little bit fiddly. So you need to print out this paper, then you need to cut it out, and then you need to somehow attach it. The glue stick version I don't think is very workable, because you then need to sand, or like you need to spend a lot of time removing the leftover tape. And that's, I don't know, that was like too much work to me. The one with a packaging tape worked better because removing it is much easier. But the packaging tape is also kind of a little bit fiddly. But if you have the time, in general, I would say it works well. It just requires more time. Less money, more time. So it's up to you to decide. I will possibly not use it very often. I think I might go for it if I have a really large workpiece and it would be very expensive, but not even then. I might just not use it. But I think it's cool that it's out there. And if that is helpful to you in one or the other occasion, go ahead and give it a try. The Shaper Origin recognizes the self-printed tape, and it works. It's precise. So everything that it promises. And if you find better ways of attaching the tape to your workpiece that is less fiddly, or have other ideas on how to make this more helpful to Shaper Origin users, leave comments on this video and others can learn from that. And maybe it even inspires me to make another video, like in this case, Jens posted this question and I made this little video. So thank you, Jens, for the idea. That was it. If you like this little video, don't forget to thumbs up, to subscribe to my channel, and see you around.